Hearing is over. We are here to discuss the State Road LLC payment request. And so basically, we review our preliminary decision and to see if we want to make any changes. Do you have a chance to look at all that material?
Okay.
Does that have any impact on changing your mind or looking at it?
I would think it would probably emphasize my thoughts, just as far as them.
Okay, good. I don't think I mentioned at the last hearing, but I did go through the checklist that we have for whether we have jurisdiction.
Oh, okay.
And
Yeah.
I did actually check with the town to make sure that they had paid their taxes.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, they didn't, I guess they did come up last time, or it did come up during the discussion, but I guess if we're satisfied with
Yeah.
that, then.
So I did that before the
Okay.
meeting, so
Okay.
I just wanted to.
Yeah, no, thanks. If it's bit, I'm happy to, often what I will do, and I find it helpful where it's not a super long decision, sometimes it's helpful for me to just read it into the record. And
Okay.
sort of reading out loud sometimes I'll realize it's a typo or something like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
If that works for you, I'm happy to do it, and then as we go, if there's anything that you want to change or add to or subtract, whatever, we can do that as we go. Does that sound good? Okay. Unless there's anything else you wanted to address before we get into the decision.
Well, the only thing I wanted to mention is one thing that I did, I noticed what their assessed value was prior to the reappraisal. And with the $750,000, they go up more than 20%.
Oh, from the
From
prior
their
value.
previous.
Okay.
Their previous
Yeah.
was like 600,000
Mhm.
something.
Okay.
So it's a pretty significant increase with the 750,000.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah.
that's probably not, doesn't need to be in here. This is financing.
No, it's a good thing to know. I assume a lot of, most property values probably went up during the revaluation, and that may be in line with what, sort of everyone else's, went up to as well, so. Okay, so I'm gonna just kind of read through, and again, let me know as we go through if there's anything that doesn't look right or you'd like to change. Again, just to emphasize, this is your decision as the board. I tried to draft it to reflect sort of what our discussion was last time, but it is your decision. So, just to begin with, Deer State Road LLC, the West Bath Board of Assessment Review, the board, met on May 17th, 2024 to hear and decide your tax abatement appeal for the property located at 270 State Road and 16 Industrial Way, map U11, lot 22 in West Bath, hereinafter the property. The board met again on May 22nd, 2024 to discuss and adopt this written decision. You have requested an abatement of $563,200 in assessed value for a total revised assessment of $750,000 relating to the 2023 to 2024 taxes. The April 1, 2023 assessment date as follows, and the chart says $1,313,200 is the assessed value total, minus $563,200 is the requested abatement, equals $750,000, the requested revised assessed value total. Based on the board's review of the written information submitted by State Road LLC, hereinafter taxpayer, and the representative from Parker Appraisal Company, hereinafter assessor's agent, and after oral presentation at the hearing by the taxpayer and its representatives and the assessor's agent, the board determined as follows. 1. The board determined that it has jurisdiction over the appeal for the following reasons. The taxpayer filed an initial abatement request to the Board of Assessors on September 25th, 2023. On November 14th, 2023, the taxpayer agreed in writing to a 60-day extension of time for the Board of Assessors to reach a decision on the abatement to expire on January 23rd, 2024. On January 22nd, 2024, the taxpayer agreed in writing to an additional delay of 30 days to expire on February 22nd, 2024. When the Board of Assessors failed to take action on the abatement request on or before that date, the request was deemed denied. See 36 MRS Section 842. The taxpayer filed a timely appeal of the deemed denial on March 22nd, 2024, and agreed in writing to provide the board with an extension of the 60-day time frame in which to issue its written decision in this case. And just as a side note, as it turned out, yesterday would have been the 60th day, and so I emailed the attorney in the meantime to just say, we're meeting tomorrow, which is the 61st day. Just want to make sure you're okay with that. So just know that there has been an extension agreed to by the taxpayer, and I sort of did the math after the fact, and it all works out. So number 2, for the April 1st, 2023 assessment date, the assessment of the property was as follows. And in the chart, land value is $295,400. Building value, $1,017,800, and total value, $1,313,200. A townwide revaluation was performed by Parker Appraisal Company for the April 1st, 2023 assessment date. 3. The primary concerns of the taxpayer regarding the assessed value of the property appear to be that the assessed value of the property is approximately 175% higher than the price at which the taxpayer purchased the property, $750,000, in December 2022. As a result, the taxpayer raises an argument of substantial overvaluation. In support of the taxpayer's position, the following documents were submitted: appeal application dated March 21st, 2024, an appraisal report prepared by Washington Valuations. In addition, the following individuals present either testimony or legal argument in support of the taxpayer's position: Scott B. Herrick, Esquire, counsel for the taxpayer; Matt Rodrigue, principal member of the taxpayer; and Alex Perlesi, real estate broker for the taxpayer's purchase of the property in December 2022. 4. The taxpayer's appraisal report was completed by Charles B. Washington of Washington Valuations and is dated as of November 18th, 2022. Mr. Washington is a real estate appraiser with a certified general appraiser designation and is licensed in Maine to appraise all types of real properties. The appraisal was prepared for the stated purpose of estimating the market value of the subject property's fee simple interest for purposes of financing, and Mr. Washington assigned a value to the property in the amount of $750,000 as of November 18th, 2022. 5. The assessment agent submitted the following documents in support of its position: valuation report for map U11, lot 22, 270 State Road and 16 Industrial Way. Property tax card for map U11, lot 22, 270 State Road and 16 Industrial Way. Comparison number 1, 341 State Road, West Bath. Comparison number 2, 23 Lounder Drive, West Bath. Comparison number 3, 263 and 269 State Road, West Bath. In addition, the testimony of the following witnesses was offered in support of the assessor's agent position: Jessica Westhaver of Parker Appraisal Company. 6. Ms. Westhaver responded to the taxpayer's testimony and evidence as follows. Ms. Westhaver asserted that for the April 1st, 2023 revaluation project, Parker Appraisal valued all commercial properties in town in the same fashion. That is, it valued commercial properties as if they were residential properties, but then added a 200% factor to the land value of any commercial property. However, she did not explain how Parker Appraisal arrived at that methodology or the 200% multiplier. Parker Appraisal used the cost method, replacement cost less depreciation, to reach an assessed value of the property and did not engage in an analysis of the income approach to value for the assessment. Concerning the appraisal information provided by the taxpayer, Ms. Westhaver testified that it was not credible evidence of fair market value because it was prepared for financing purposes. However, she did not dispute that the December 2022 sale to the taxpayer for $750,000 was an arm's-length fair market sale of the property, and she conceded that Parker Appraisal did not consider the income approach to value when valuing the property, and so did not offer any critique of the income approach employed by Mr. Washington. Finally, Ms. Westhaver testified that it would be inappropriate to set the assessed value at the recent sale price of $750,000, as doing so would constitute chasing the sales, which is not a permissible assessing practice. In this appeal, the taxpayer's arguments focused on its belief that the property was substantially overvalued for the April 1st, 2023 assessment date. The evidence of overvaluation relied upon by the taxpayer was the fact that the taxpayer purchased the property on December 9th, 2022, less than 4 months before the April 1st, 2023 assessment date, for $750,000, while the assessed value of the property was nearly 175% higher at $1,313,200. According to the taxpayer's realtor, the property had been on the market for 140 days, was listed with an initial asking price of $770,000, and was sold under normal market conditions. The appraisal of the property, which was prepared for financing purposes, supports the sale price for the property and was arrived at using principally the income approach to value, which is appropriate for an income-producing property such as the property. Mr. Rodriguez explained that a financing institution must obtain an accurate fair market value of the property so that if it needs to foreclose on the property, it will be able to recover its security interest. The property has unique features that impact its fair market value, including the fact that it has a shared septic system for the two principal buildings. The land consists of a large portion of undevelopable wetland area. It is burdened by an easement benefiting the abutting property to the rear. The board finds that the taxpayer's testimony and documentary evidence were persuasive on the issue of the analysis challenging the total assessment of the property, and concludes that the taxpayer met its burden to demonstrate that the assessment of the property is manifestly wrong. In particular, the board gives great weight to the arm's length sale of the property that occurred less than 4 months prior to the April 1st, 2023 assessment date. See Turfloff versus Town of Scarborough, 2014, Maine 57, paragraph 17, 98 3rd, 1131, holding that a recent sale provides the best evidence of market value, provided that the sale was made at arm's length and occurred under regular market conditions in an open market. See also Town of Southwest Harbor versus Harwood, 2000, Maine 213, paragraph 19, 763, 8 2nd, 115. Quote, the arm's length sale of property, the arm's length sale price of property provides the best evidence of market value, end quote. See also McCullough versus Town of Sanford, 687, 8 2nd, 629, 631, May 1996, holding that, quote, just value means market value, end quote. The board further finds that the assessment agent's comparable properties are not actually comparable at all to the subject property, and therefore do not support the assessment. Therefore, the board finds that the assessed value of the property is not consistent with the property's market value, such that the property was shown to be overvalued. Based on the foregoing, the board concludes that the taxpayer proved that the assessed valuation of the property was manifestly wrong, as the taxpayer provided persuasive evidence that the property was substantially overvalued. Moreover, the taxpayer provided, quote, credible evidence of just value, end quote, in the form of an appraisal prepared by a licensed Maine real estate appraiser that the board found credible. Therefore, the board grants the taxpayer's request for abatement in the amount of $563,200 in assessed value for a total revised assessed value of $750,000 relating to the April 1st, 2023 assessment date. And then the vote was 2 in favor of the motion to grant the tax abatement appeal, 0 opposed. Board member Tate absent. Appeal. You have the right to appeal this decision to the Superior Court, Saginaw County of the State of Maine, in accordance with 36 MRS Section 843 and Rule 80B of the Maine Rules of Civil Procedure. And then I have it to be signed by the acting chair. Did I get your name? Spell your name right? Okay. I did pick up a couple of typos in the way, so I'm always in some ways happy to find things, but as I go through, so that it justifies having gone through the exercise of reading it aloud. Did anybody else find anything they wanted to change or modify in any way?
No.
Okay. Any questions?
Very well written.
Okay. All right, so I will make those couple of tweaks so that we can just have it, get it signed today.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you
I'll
can
just-
make those an email.
I can do it right now and email it to you, but I think all we need now would be a motion and a vote to adopt the written decision as the board's decision. And so,
So moved.
A second.
All those in favor? All those opposed? It is carried.
okay,
It was granted.
all right. So I will just make those couple of small changes and then email that to you, and you can sign it, before you go.
Okay.
That'd be- Other than that, we can just adjourn.
And just a motion to adjourn?
Yep. Motion to adjourn?
A second?
So we're adjourned.
All right. Good job.